On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Murder.
The crime of killing somebody intentionally.
Examples:
Murder in the second degree. Attempted murder. This intriguing murder mystery remains unsolved.
Breed.
To keep animals for producing offspring in a regulated manner.
Examples:
Breed horses. Breed suspicion. This animal breeds in northern latitudes.
Punishment.
A penalty or consequence inflicted for wrongdoing or offense, a means of enforcing discipline or preventing further wrongdoing.
Examples:
Punishment for a crime. Humiliating punishment. The judge gave severe punishment to the criminal who committed the heinous crime.
Serial.
Consisting of or occurring in a series or sequence, relating to or involving a series or sequence of events, stories, or incidents.
Examples:
Serial killer. Serial number. The company is launching a new line of cereal products aimed at young adults.
Novel.
An extended fictional work in prose, usually in the form of a story, adjective, original and of a kind not seen before.
Examples:
Historical novel. Novel effect. The novel has largely gotten positive feedback.
Saint.
A person who is recognized as having an exceptional degree of holiness, virtue, or devotion.
Examples:
Saint statue. The departed saint. The faithful follower venerated the saint's relic.
Abject.
Extremely unpleasant and degrading, physically or emotionally impoverished, miserable, wretched, and hopeless.
Examples:
Abject failure. Abject despair. The abject poverty in the slums is a concern for the government.
Poverty.
The condition of being extremely poor.
Examples:
Poverty alleviation. The cycle of poverty. Many studies have investigated the relationship between poverty and academic achievement.
Rural.
Of or relating to the countryside.
Examples:
Rural accents. People in rural areas. Many rural areas are still impoverished.
Distress.
A feeling of great worry, sadness, pain, or discomfort.
Examples:
A signal of distress. Emotional distress. She's been in great distress since she was heartbroken.
Sacrifice.
The act of killing an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to a deity. Verb, to give up something important or valuable to help another person or get or do something that seems more important.
Examples:
Small sacrifice for a great cause. Sacrifice anything to get ahead. You cannot accomplish great things without a sacrifice of your time or money.
Increasingly.
More and more.
Examples:
Increasingly become common. Face increasingly complicated challenges. Our company found it increasingly difficult to keep up with the competition.
Desperate.
Feeling or showing a lack of hope and a willingness to do anything because of the problematic situation.
Examples:
Her desperate screams. Desperate attempt. He was desperate when he lost all his money by gambling.
Elderly.
A polite word for old.
Examples:
A home for the elderly. Elderly woman. The elderly woman is quite energetic.
Pawn.
A piece in the game of chess that can be moved only forward and captured only diagonally. Verb, leave as a guarantee in return for money.
Examples:
Pawn checkmate. Pawn my jewelry. He used his watch as a pawn in the game of chess.
Resolve.
To find a suitable answer to the problems or difficulty.
Examples:
Resolve a dispute. Resolve the computer error. This company resolves its battery problem completely.
Unthinkable.
Too unlikely or shocking to imagine or accept.
Examples:
An unthinkable coincidence. In unthinkable trouble. That accident was something unthinkable with my long experience.
Cite.
To refer to something such as a passage, book, etc., as evidence for a theory or as a reason why something has happened.
Examples:
Cite various authorities. Cite a fact as evidence. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose.
Psychology.
The scientific study of mind and behavior.
Examples:
Psychology experiment. Psychology of crowd. She had a master's degree in psychology.
Thrill.
A feeling of extreme and sudden excitement and pleasure, to cause someone to feel sudden intense sensation or emotion.
Examples:
The thrill of speed. Incredible thrill. Skydiving is an overwhelming thrill for many people.
Scope.
The range of one's perceptions, thoughts, or actions, or a subject that.
Examples:
Scope of a project. Have broad scope. The scope of human thought is diverse.
Turmoil.
A state of great disturbance, confusion, or uncertainty, often marked by intense activity or strong emotions.
Examples:
Political turmoil. The turmoil of the war. The company experienced financial turmoil after the CEO was arrested.
Dank.
Unpleasantly damp and musty, used in slang, considered cool or of high quality, particularly about cannabis and marijuana culture.
Examples:
Dank basement. Dank smell. The old, dank cellar was the perfect place for storing wine.
Tavern.
A public place where alcoholic drinks are served.
Examples:
Drink in a tavern. Traditional taverns. The tavern keeper was a friendly man who always had a good joke.
Dilapidated.
In a state of disrepair, decay, or disuse, often due to neglect or age, run down or shabby in appearance or condition.
Examples:
Dilapidated house. Dilapidated building. The abandoned amusement park was now only a collection of dilapidated rides.
Claustrophobia.
A persistent and intense fear of enclosed or small spaces.
Examples:
Overcome claustrophobia. Claustrophobia inducing. She suffered from claustrophobia and couldn't take elevators.
Belly.
The front part of the body below the chest, containing the stomach and bowels, the rounded or curved part of an object, such as a ship or aircraft.
Examples:
The belly of the ship. With an empty belly. She had a tattoo just above her belly button.
Sear.
To char, scorch, or burn the surface of something with intense heat, of pain or experience, to be deeply felt or remembered over a long time.
Examples:
Sear tissue using a hot iron. Sear the memory into your mind. Be careful not to sear the meat too long, as it can become tough and chewy.
Prose.
A type of written or spoken language that is not organized in verse or rhyme.
Examples:
Prose fiction. Rhythmical prose. The novel was written in prose, with no rhyme or meter.
Introductory.
Intended as an introduction or preliminary, serving as a base or starting point.
Examples:
Introductory biology text. Product introductory sale. The introductory class was designed to give students a basic understanding of the subject.
Miserable.
Very unhappy, uncomfortable, or unpleasant, causing great distress or suffering.
Examples:
Miserable weather. Miserable experience. She felt miserable after her dog passed away.
Ruin.
To damage, spoil, or demolish something. Noun, an unrecoverable state of devastation and destruction.
Examples:
Ruin the plan. Ruin the reputation. He knocked over the red wine and ruined the tablecloth.
Hinge.
A joint that holds the edge of a door, window, lid, etc. and allows it to open or close.
Examples:
A stiff hinge. Insecure hinge. His involvement is the hinge of our plan.
Lecherous.
Having or showing excessive or offensive sexual desire, lustful, prone to immoral behavior, or sexual misconduct.
Examples:
Lecherous behavior. Lecherous thoughts. He couldn't help but stare at her with lecherous eyes.
Nobleman.
A man of high rank or status.
Examples:
Nobleman title. A Bohemian nobleman. The young nobleman lived in a grand palace with high social status.
Moral.
Concerned with the principles of what is right and wrong, fairness, honesty, etc.
Examples:
Moral hazard. Moral burden. Ethics deals with moral conduct.
Innocent.
Not guilty of a crime, offense, etc., not having an evil mind or knowledge.
Examples:
An innocent child. Thousands of innocent people. My husband was found innocent of any crime.
Stark.
Empty, simple, or apparent, devoid of any qualifications.
Examples:
Stark landscape. Stark truth. The scenery of the battlefield was stark and gray.
Contrast.
To put in opposition, to show or emphasize differences.
Examples:
Contrast with a decade ago. Contrast two things. It's intriguing to compare and contrast the two authors.
Depravity.
Moral corruption or degradation, a state of extreme wickedness or immorality, morally twisted or warped behavior.
Examples:
Depravity of human nature. Moral depravity. The depravity of the serial killer shocked the nation.
Intertwine.
To twist together or become twisted together.
Examples:
Intertwine thread. Intertwine story. The vines intertwine to form a thick canopy overhead.
Bleak.
Unlikely to be favorable, unpleasantly cold and damp, offering little or no hope.
Examples:
Prospects were bleak. Bleak future. The political landscape looks bleak without a change of administration.
Portrait.
A painting, picture, the likeness of a person, especially one showing the face.
Examples:
A portrait painter. Portrait of a well-known figure. A well-known artist painted this lovely lady's portrait.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
Cognitive complexity. Complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Evolve.
To develop gradually, or to cause the development of something or someone gradually.
Examples:
Evolve. Evolve over the past decade. Eyeless fish evolved in dark caves.
Military.
Relating to or characteristic of members of the armed forces, of or relating to war or warfare.
Examples:
A military operation. A military leader. The military academy was known for its strict discipline and training.
Attract.
To draw or entice someone or something towards them through the qualities they have, especially positive ones.
Examples:
Attract attention. Attract customers. The government is eager to attract international investment.
Reform.
The act of improving or correcting something wrong or bad. Verb, to make a change in something to correct a flaw or improve it.
Examples:
Economic reform. Reform movement. The government is proposing a reform to the healthcare system to make it more accessible and affordable for all citizens.
Intellect.
The ability to think logically and comprehend information, especially at an advanced level.
Examples:
Enrich my intellect. Human intellect. Your intellect is capable of distinguishing among similar objects.
Discuss.
To talk about or examine in detail, through conversation or debate, to exchange ideas, opinions, or information on a particular topic.
Examples:
Discuss options. Discuss solutions. We need to discuss the next steps for the project during our meeting tomorrow.
Radical.
Relating to the essential aspects of anything, far beyond the norm, mainly used of opinions and actions.
Examples:
A radical flaw in the plan. A radical cure. The government established by the coup was more radical than before.
Ban.
To officially or legally forbid or refuse to allow something.
Examples:
Ban gender-related job discrimination. Ban any type of cloning. We should ban mildly violent video games from a child's development perspective.
Imperial.
Relating to or associated with an empire or the person or country that rules it.
Examples:
Imperial rule. Imperial palace. The Imperial Palace is now undergoing repairs.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Exposure.
The state of being in a particular situation or place where there is no protection from or guarantee to something harmful, the disclosure of something secret.
Examples:
A southern exposure. The exposure of a fraud. The long exposure to the air tarnished the antique tableware.
Arrest.
To take into custody.
Examples:
Arrest the thief. Arrest the progress. A police officer has the authority to arrest a criminal.
Mock.
To make fun of someone, usually by imitating them in a witty but harsh way.
Examples:
Mock his accent. Mock at his misfortune. It is impolite to mock fun of a foreign student's English mistakes.
Execution.
The act or process of carrying out a plan, order, or course of action, the act or process of carrying out the death penalty.
Examples:
Compulsory execution. Execution by injection. The execution of the plan was flawless, resulting in a record-breaking profit for the company.
Pardon.
To forgive someone for something they have said or done, such as a crime. Noun, the act of excusing a mistake or offense.
Examples:
Pardon me. Supplicate for pardon. The governor decided to pardon the prisoner after reviewing the evidence of his innocence.
Char.
Also Tsar or Tsar, a title of rulers or monarchs, especially in Russia, before the Russian Revolution of 1917, an authoritarian or powerful political leader or high-level officeholder.
Examples:
Technology czar. Economic czar. The Czar of Healthcare is responsible for improving the quality and accessibility of healthcare for all citizens.
Labor.
Productive work, especially physical work done for wages, the people who do manual or physical work in a country or company for wage. Verb, to work hard or to strive and make an effort to reach a goal. seasonal labor, manual labor. In several countries, child labor is a serious social problem.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Pessimistic.
Tending to see the worst aspect of things, or expecting the worst possible outcome.
Examples:
Take a pessimistic view of life. Pessimistic for our survival. She was unduly pessimistic about her future.
Shift.
A slight transition in position, direction, or trend.
Examples:
Doppler shift. Major paradigm shift. Could you help me shift some furniture?
Spiritual.
Relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things.
Examples:
Constant spiritual striving. Spiritual leader. The meditation class was focused on finding inner peace and cultivating a more spiritual connection with the universe.
Novella.
A written work of fiction that is longer than a short story but shorter than a novel.
Examples:
Write a novella. A novella set in a medieval kingdom. I am reading a famous novella about a group of friends who go on a road trip.
Underground.
Under the surface of the ground, a secret group organized to achieve a specific purpose, such as overthrowing the government or occupying a force.
Examples:
Water flowing underground. Underground activist. Having underground parking has been very beneficial throughout the winter.
Expound.
To explain or clarify something in detail or with great care, to interpret or elucidate.
Examples:
Expound theory. Expound on the subject. The professor spent hours expounding on the complexities of quantum physics.
Utopian.
Ideal and perfect, relating to or resembling a utopia, equals an ideal and perfect society.
Examples:
Utopian society. Utopian goal. He had a utopian vision of a world without war.
Philosophy.
The study of general and fundamental questions, such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind.
Examples:
Philosophy of education. Western philosophy. Ethics is a branch of philosophy.
Satisfy.
To make somebody pleased by giving them what they want or need.
Examples:
Satisfy a desire. Satisfy a user's needs. Did this response satisfy your request?
Contradictory.
Containing or consisting of conflicting or incompatible elements.
Examples:
Apparently contradictory. Contradictory evidence. His statements were contradictory, leaving the audience confused.
Yearn.
To strongly desire or long for something.
Examples:
Yearn after my old days. Yearn for love. She yearned for the days when things were simpler.
Conceive.
To have or develop an idea, a plan, etc. in mind, to become pregnant.
Examples:
Conceive of an idea. Conceive a child. I can't conceive he'd want to harm us.
Narrative.
A story or a description of a series of events or process of telling a story.
Examples:
Narrative poetry. Personal narrative. The narrative handles multiple plot lines and has unpredictable ends.
Thread.
A fine cord of natural or synthetic fibers or filaments, such as cotton or nylon, used in sewing, knitting, or weaving. A series of connected messages or comments on a social media platform or online forum, often related to a particular topic. A sequence or line of events, ideas, or actions that are connected or related. Verb. To pass a thread through a needle or other small opening. In preparation for sewing or stitching.
Examples:
Thread a catheter. Start a new thread. The detective followed a thread of clues which ultimately led to the suspect's arrest.
Seduce.
To entice someone to engage in sexual behavior, or to enter into a romantic relationship.
Examples:
Seduce him into crime. Seduce her mind. He tried to seduce her with his charm and good looks.
Corruptible.
Capable of being made to do something dishonest or immoral.
Examples:
Corruptible officials. Corruptible judges. Bureaucracies are more corruptible than other systems or organizations.
Urban.
Relating to or located in a town or city.
Examples:
Urban planning. Urban property owners. Only a small number of urban utilities offer sanitation services.
Critique.
A detailed analysis or examination of something, especially a literary, philosophical, or political theory, an essay or article that gives a critical evaluation.
Examples:
A critique of the social system. Devastating critique. Following the critique from the professor, students rewrite their essays and submit them for final evaluation.
Advancement.
The development, improvement, or progress of something.
Examples:
advancement of knowledge, career advancement. Competition between countries resulted in fast technological advancement.
Exploit:
to make full use of and gain an advantage from resources, opportunities, etc.
Examples:
exploit a security hole, exploit a valuable opportunity. We exploit our mining resources to strengthen our national power.
Echo:
a sound heard after being reflected off a surface, such as a wall or a cliff.
Examples:
the echo of a person's footsteps. Sound echo. A thunderous boom echoed throughout the valley.
Doctrine:
a belief or set of ideas held and taught by a church, political party, or other groups.
Examples:
religious doctrine, doctrine of nonviolence. The church doctrine teaches that all are equal in the eyes of God.
Egoist:
a person who is excessively focused on their interests, needs, or welfare, one who regards self-interest or personal advantage as their main priority.
Examples:
egoist behavior, arrogant egoist. Her egoist nature caused her to lose friends.
Utilitarianism:
the belief that the actions are the right if they are useful or for the benefit of a majority.
Examples:
individualistic utilitarianism, institutional utilitarianism. Utilitarianism focuses on results and consequences rather than rules.
Embrace:
to accept something willingly and enthusiastically. Noun, the act of clasping another person in the arms as in greeting or affection.
Examples:
embrace an opportunity, a warm embrace. The woods embrace the house.
Contemporary:
belonging to the same or present time.
Examples:
field of contemporary art, contemporary leaders. Contemporary music has gained different followers from existing music.
Intelligence:
the ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples:
an intelligence test, field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Transcend:
to rise above or go beyond the limits of something.
Examples:
transcend boundaries, transcend limits. The music transcended cultural barriers and reached audiences globally.
Taboo:
prohibited or restricted by social custom.
Examples:
a taboo word, Academic taboo. In this society, discussing politics in public is a taboo subject.
Morality.
Principles of right and evil or good and bad behavior.
Examples:
Business morality. Sense of morality. She found fault with the morality of politicians.
Mere.
Used to emphasize how insignificant or minor someone or something is.
Examples:
Mere acquaintance. Mere incident. He lost the election by mere votes.
Moralize.
To express or teach a moral lesson or principle, often in a self-righteous or didactic way, to reflect on the ethical or moral aspects of a situation or behavior.
Examples:
Moralize a situation. Moralize about politics. I don't like it when people try to moralize me about my personal choices.
Distinctive.
Having a quality or characteristic that makes it stand out from others.
Examples:
Distinctive ability. Designed to be distinctive. His writing style was distinctive, with a clear and concise voice.
Convincing.
Able to make someone believe that something is true.
Examples:
A convincing victory. Convincing biochemical explanation. I found her assertion pretty convincing.
Remarkable.
Worthy of attention because unusual or special.
Examples:
Remarkable achievement. The remarkable breadth of knowledge. The election was a remarkable success for the Whigs.
Rev.
A measure of the rate at which an engine or motor rotates, often expressed in revolutions per minute, RPM, verb, to increase the number of rotations per minute.
Examples:
Low rev engine. Rev up the crowd. He stepped on the gas pedal, and the engine released a loud rev.
Gripping.
Engaging or compelling, capable of holding one's attention or interest tightly, evocative of strong emotions or reactions.
Examples:
Gripping documentary. Gripping tale. The gripping movie had me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Ensue.
To happen or follow as a result or consequence of something.
Examples:
Ensue within a few years. Predict what will ensue. A power outage ensued after the storm knocked out the electricity.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples:
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Redemption.
The act of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil, or the process of regaining or earning something of value.
Examples:
Redemption of a loan. A redemption bill. He saw his time in prison as an opportunity for redemption.